You look like you're so full of cheer.
It's the Flexerol. It's just taking over my life.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The T-bone.
And chick brew.
Let's God bless. All these years, just get it right one time.
What do you want from me?
40 years they've been trying. You couldn't fire somebody if they were horrible, doing a terrible job for the veterans. And now you can say you're fired.
Okay. No one listens to radio.
And now for a quick disclaimer. The T-Bone
And chick brew.
Show is brought to you by nobody. We have no sponsors.
The show is still rated G.
For glorious. Thank you to our friends Chris and Ralph from the $18 podcast who have taped another ghost episode.
Oh, no.
Which made me exceptionally aware today to ensure that we did not do a ghost episode number 2. For those of you who don't know, a ghost episode is when you and your partner, you get together and you do a quality broadcast that your mom would be proud of. And then you realize after an hour of discussion, you never hit the record button.
So it's devastating.
It is because you can never get it back. You can't get the magic back in the bottle. It's what happens. Hi, my friend. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Good. You mentioned some medication there, and you're not normally a medicine person. So what's going on with you?
Man, my back is just still hurting. And they're like, oh, take these muscle relaxers, which quite frankly, I don't think they're working. Nothing feels relaxed. Everything still feels quite terrible.
Your back is still hurting from you running your face into the wall accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they gave you muscle relaxers.
They said they were muscle relaxers.
Yeah, Flexerol is definitely a muscle relaxer that I have been prescribed many, many times, but it does make you sleepy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
we got a whole lot of show for you, ladies and gentlemen. So here's a quick reminder, just in case you don't know what you stepped into. This is the Lunds B Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew. I am T-Bone. She's Chick Brew. I am in central Pennsylvania. She is in southern Spain. We get together once a week and we talk about things. We talk about our lives on separate continents on different sides of the pond. Things happening locally in her community, things happening in and around my community. We talk about the people in said communities. One of the most interesting posts I read today had to do with someone shopping in the commissary.
Uh-oh.
Yes, someone shopping in the commissary with many carts of food.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yes, apparently all accompanied by a bunch of Spanish-speaking people, which, it is Spain, so that's not a reach. And worst offense of all was not the possible SOFA violations of people buying non-tax goods inside the commissary. It wasn't that. It was that the 4 carts that this person had, she took through the express lane.
Self-checkout.
Yeah, that was it self-checkout or was it the express lane?
I think it was self-checkout. Because if it was the express lane, then it was probably someone purchasing for either youth center, SAC, or CYP.
Do you have to go to the express lanes if you're purchasing for an organization?
You don't have to, but we're not allowed to use the baggers because they are working for tips. So often we'll go through the express lane because that's bag your own.
Okay, that makes a little sense.
And the 70-30, so a lot of the people who purchase for those activities, they are Spanish.
Yes, because the Spanish base in Spain has a lot of Spanish employees. Go figure.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, so again, the one thing Facebook has done that I don't like is this new ability to post anonymously.
I want to know who you are.
Have some gagoolies, okay? You want to say something? Say it. Own it, but own it. The anonymous, and it gives me the option every time I post something that I think might be controversial or maybe just a little edgy, there's the anonymous button. It's right there. You can push the button
Don't you dare.
I won't. I own, I make mistakes along the way. I say things, sometimes funny, sometimes not. We'll get into one in just a second. And another of T-Bone's unpopular opinion of the day. We haven't done, I think I made a sound effect for that, but it's been a long time since we did one of those, and I might have to put it in post. All right. So it's the commissary. It's restricted to Americans because the tax situation, and other people aren't supposed to shop there. But it happens, and sometimes it's flagrant. But what you mention is a great example, and I think someone did bring it up like, hey, maybe they were shopping for an organization, and it's legit. And other people were more along my lines of, you posted anonymously, screw you.
You know what? But though, okay, if you went through self-checkout, that's kind of rude. If you went through exchange or the express lane, there's no express lane. There's normally 2 registers. Everyone's going through self-checkout. Get over it. No one goes to express for anything other than organizations. There's been 5. No one can afford to shop at the commissary right now. Except for the organizations.
I've been pretty adamant, just because this is the hill I will die on, that I don't use self-checkout. If we all use self-checkout, then the companies have no motivation, they have no incentive to hire people, and I want people to have jobs, so that's why I litter and I use checkouts with people in them.
I like to buy my embarrassing items at self-checkout. There's an option.
I go out of my way on occasion. When I'm in a good mood and I want to have some fun, I buy the most embarrassing items just to get the face of the person at the register. And I love it when they're young people. They don't understand why KY and some cucumbers and a box of condoms is hilarious. Oh, and duct tape. And you got to have to make any purchase. To make any purchase a little weird, there's always got to be duct tape.
They're just confused as to why this old guy is buying it. But that's just a regular Tuesday night for them. You're not shocking them. You're enticing them.
I get faces. Because it's me. They look at me and they look at what I buy and they're like, hey.
That's what I'm saying. You're not shocking them.
It is funny to me. I was thinking about this recently about the purchasing of condoms throughout my lifetime and how, as a young man, it was extremely embarrassing. It was embarrassing to do the smart thing, and then as I got older, it was like a badge of honor. Like, look at me. But it progressed. It progressed from immensely embarrassing to a badge of honor over a period of 40 years. So, but now I just use them to make animal balloons. It's pretty much all they're good for these days. I'm really good at making the snakes. Can make a lot of snakes.
Sneaky snakes.
It's time for T-Bone's Unpopular Opinion of the Day!
Hey, do you know what the Haka is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm watching those crazy New Zealanders, mostly of the Maori tribe, but there's some whites sprinkled in for comedic effect, and they're all out there and they're doing their Haka as a protest to a pride parade that was going on. Now, for those of you who don't know what a Haka is, let me paint a picture for you. Usually, it's a bunch of shirtless, ripped, oily men. And they're breathing very heavy, and their mouths are agape, and they love flicking the tongue. There's a lot of oily, buffed, shirtless men flicking their tongues at a gay pride parade.
Don't ever do that on camera again. I almost left.
And I was just watching this and I'm like, I don't know if you're sending the message you want to send. You look a lot more inviting then you are not sending a go away signal. That's for sure.
it's like WWE. It's the same thing. It's funny because I feel like the most masculine pursuits are kind of like the gayest, a little bit so. Football,
I can't repeat the joke
big
because it's
shoulder.
not
Baseball,
appropriate.
The pants. It's so many things. Just like they're like 2 margaritas away from.
Yeah, there are many wrestling moves.
Not the moves. I'm talking about the costumes. The costumes straight up drag show. The wig with the hair and the fur and the boots.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. And you know they had to make those boots themselves because they have big old feet.
And then watch them wrestle.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm not comfortable with being, and I have inhaled man meat before, and I don't recommend that. So as a judokist, as a person that does judo, we keep our clothes on for the most part. But I fought a guy in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, who was too big for his clothes. His clothes couldn't fit him, and I made a really bad move, and he was on top of me, and his sweaty man meat filled every orifice in my face. If I could have breathed out of my ears, I would have. But he was there too. He couldn't get off me fast enough, and I couldn't signal to the authorities I didn't want to be there anymore quick enough. He was every bit of 500 pounds. And it was not a tone 500 pounds. He was just a big old boy. He was basically an American sumo wrestler. And when I went to make my move, he just fell on me. That's all he did, and he won the match.
Good strategy, though. That's a very solid strategy. And I'm a firm believer in it.
Oh, I still have nightmares to this day of being trapped underneath man meat. Just sweaty, hairy, bleh. Good thing you weren't looking at the camera again. My tongue popped out. That was one of the things that I wanted to discuss. I wanted to discuss how the Haka is not sending the signal I think they want to send. But Mr. Stanley now secretly posting under the alias Shirley Stanley. For whatever reason, Mike has decided to tap out of social media. When he told me he was going to do that, I begged him not to. He's one of our most consistent listeners, but he's got to do what he's got to do. And then he told me, "Don't worry about it. I'll still listen, but I'll still participate, but it'll be through my wife's account." So then why, if you're grown enough to use your wife's account, and this doesn't just apply to Mike, there are others of you out there who use your wife's account. You're grown. You can have your own account. It's okay. And if you were doing something that you weren't supposed to be doing, you got caught. Well, the answer is don't do that anymore.
You're done.
Yes. But Mr. Stanley offered as a possible segment for the new season, Knuckleheads in the News. Not to be confused with our news segment, this one is just Knuckleheads in the News. So I used AI to see if AI could help me figure it out, and it gave me some examples of what AI would consider knuckleheads in the news. Out of the 5 it gave me, I chose 2 in the category of stupid criminals this week. One of them was an Indiana woman who was accused of marrying her biological father. All right.
Thank you.
Your initial response is ew, but what if she really loved her daddy? What if she was a daddy's girl?
Doesn't matter.
You say no.
I love my father.
Uh-huh.
He is fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Boundaries.
You're saying there's no circumstance out there whatsoever where you would marry your father?
No.
Hold on. What if there was a $345 VA disability check involved?
Sorry.
Yep, that's why.
That's not enough.
That's why that woman from Indiana done went and married her daddy so she could cash his check for him. Yeah.
Ew. It's double ew.
There is a world leader out there. I don't know if you've seen this, and I'm going to be very vague in the way I describe it. But there is a world leader, a person that is in charge of a country that is married to a woman that was a man.
Might be his dad.
That is his father.
Yeah, been tracking that one. That's a fun. Yeah, we've been talking.
I would marry my dad for a $345 VA disability check long
Not.
before I'd marry my dad.
I don't know that it's factual. There's a lot of back and forth, but it is a very fun conspiracy theory to it's a great rabbit hole. 10 out of 10, I recommend.
The person who brings it up is fearless. Fearless in that the accusation she is making is a big accusation.
Mm-hmm.
And if it were not true, she would be liable for slander and damages, and it would be bad. It would be bad to say this about someone, but they haven't sued her.
It would be bad. It's just because there's so much you have to do to debunk it, right? There's so much you would have to prove, and you'd have to prove it in a way where the level of public knowledge would just be too much.
Here's
right? It would have to be like on Maury.
The
right?
one
That's the level.
fact that everyone can agree upon is this world leader's spouse is 30 years his senior.
Yeah. Look, like I said, I won't go into it too much either, but it is a very fun, it's a good time. 10 out of 10 on the conspiracy theories. It's right up there with Mattress Firm.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I've seen a mattress firm across the street from a mattress firm. There's no doubt in my mind that is a money laundering business.
But it was proven to be true.
How about this headline? It just goes in so many directions. Alabama woman arrested for allegedly trying to sell her baby. Now, that's not necessarily true. I've done some research. I came prepared, Chick Brew. I came prepared old school. I wrote notes on paper. Like we were back in the station. I actually wrote some notes down. So, Alabama woman,
a price tag for uniform items,
travels to Arkansas and sells her baby for $50 and some used clothes. Now, you could say a lot about Alabama and people from Alabama, but I'm going to tell you, this is where the story takes a turn. She comes back home, and the people around her recognize she had a lot of money.
$50?
In her circle, $50 is a lot of money.
Okay.
So she was flashing all of her newfound riches around the trailer park when somebody realized the baby wasn't there. So the Arkansas couple, I guess they got on Craigslist or something like that, found that the woman was willing to sell the baby. They wanted to raise a baby, and they paid her for the baby. Which
human trafficking, though, she crossed state lines.
She does cross state lines, but apparently in Alabama, it's a felony to accept money for an adoption. But the law in Arkansas is not that consistent in that the child remains with the purchasers. and there is a custody battle ensuing to see if the people that purchased the baby, who probably have a better shot of bringing up the baby, and the baby probably has a better shot with them, assuming that they're not doing anything foul to the child. You know, if you genuinely want to help somebody and raise a baby and you give them cash, I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't either, because if you were to do it the proper or legal way, the adoption agency is making money.
And the lawyers and the court, everybody's making money.
Not the person who has to pay the hospital bills for the baby that they had. Not that person, but everyone else is making money. So she can keep her $50.
I think she should be able to keep her $50. And I think the Arkansas couple, I think they should be, monitored.
Yes.
I think child services should check them out regularly and make sure that the baby's okay. But as long as they're raising that baby with love in their heart, I am for this. This should happen more often. And Child Protective Services, if they were doing their job, they would inspect more houses randomly. Because it's the family of 12 from a very serious religious sect that are the ones torturing their children, that are chaining their children to the beds. Those things really happen.
I don't understand how there is not a limit on how many children you can foster.
Well, the family that I'm thinking of right now, these were all biological children to the family.
Are you talking about the one where they had the
Here's how you know we're talking about the same family. Imagine a postcard, or a Christmas card, and they're all in the same outfit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Same family.
Yeah.
We
didn't even talk during the week, and we have the same internet.
We'll find out. We'll find out if we have the same internet when we get to the internet spotlight, which is now, because I don't have buttons. You know what? Let's throw in a commercial, and when we come back, we'll do our internet spotlight. Hey, everybody, it's T-Bone. Did you know you can listen to The Lunsby Show on the iHeartRadio app? The team at iHeartRadio has created 2 features on the app. You can now auto-download to your device and be notified whenever new episodes are released, all for free using the iHeartRadio app. And you can listen to The Lunsby Show from anywhere. iHeartRadio. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love. So again, I have a wonderful introduction thing that I want to do. I just don't have the video credits to do it with AI yet, but I'm saving up those credits, and we will have an intro to the Internet Spotlight. Things that we have come across during our scrolling activities that we organically we came across these things, and we're sharing them with the audience to see if maybe you came across something similar. For me, this week, I kept getting videos of goats. And I'm not talking Michael Jordan. I'm not talking Cal Ripken. I'm talking actual four-legged, hooved, horned, adorable baby goats. Just one video after another. You know when you start going down the rabbit hole and you think maybe I clicked on something, maybe I went to the right and that makes all of these videos associated. I double checked to see if that had happened. No, it just every other video I got was like a goat fighting a dog and a dog fighting a goat, playfully, very playfully, and a goat running away from kittens and kittens chasing a goat. Video after video this week has been goats.
Not mad about it, are you?
How about you? What fell into your feed this week?
So this actually was today. I was scrolling and
scrolling.
Keep scrolling. Anyways, so many options. It was a Mr. Ballin video, and he's talking about Barbara Kent and a late night summer snow in New Mexico. And it's really interesting because there was 10 people who experienced the late night summer snow in New Mexico. And Barbara Kent was the only one to not die of cancer because the summer snow was fallout from the first atom bomb, the Trinity test. And it's really interesting because, of course, the government did not tell anyone in the surrounding area.
Why should we tell them?
Why would they tell them?
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure it out real soon. They didn't tell anyone. So they were out at a dance camp in Ruidoso. Shakes everything. Everyone falls out of their beds. Everything's in disarray. The counselors are like, everything seems fine. They're like, it's snowing. We're going to go in the water and play and swim and enjoy this moment.
Of course. And, who doesn't?
Yeah,
snow is wonderful.
Want to do that. If you don't know, you don't know. You think this is amazing. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. The other side of the story type of thing. I love
the old Paul Harvey rest of the story.
Yeah.
I
we were just talking about that at work.
I wish I could share those. Yeah, I'm sure they're all available, but they're all copyrighted, I'm sure. But Paul Harvey, a wonderful voice, radio personality from many, many years ago, would tell you the rest of the story. And it was always, here's a thing, and here's a whole bunch of things about that thing that you never knew. As an example, did you know there were several people that survived the bombing in Hiroshima?
Only to get bombed again.
Yeah, hold on. Those same people also survived the bombing in Nagasaki. Yes, and they lived, the few people who survived both of them lived long, long lives and did not die from the initial fallouts or the summer snow, as they call it in New Mexico. Late night summer
they have
snow.
a special name for people. There is a special name for people who survived both bombings. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Well, we don't want to leave the audience with that, so let's
Or we let them figure it out and tell me.
What do you call survivors of both atomic bombs? Yeah, why would we know this? Because exactly. And even the pronunciation is so cryptic I couldn't figure it out. Hibakusha.
Yeah.
Hibakusha. A person affected by exposure radioactivity is a word of Japanese origin, generally designated the people affected by the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. By the end of 1945, the atomic bombings of Japan had killed an estimated 140,000 people at Hiroshima and 74,000 at Nagasaki. Hibakusha. Hibakusha is people who fall into one or more of the following categories. Nope, these are just survivors. Yamaguchi, probably not. All right.
And see, folks, this is the rabbit hole.
How about we don't answer the question and let you guys figure it out? There is a word for people who survived both blasts, and those people did go on to live long lives. It's crazy. The stories about that are just crazy. So we did all of the things that we do, but we haven't done some of the other things. Let's go into one of our regular segments, and then when we come back, we'll update everyone on the list of worst celebrity podcasts. A surprise to be had for sure. It's time to talk about cooking.
And tonight proved one thing. You know, all.
She is a professional chef. I'm a rank amateur. She gets paid to make the food. I save money eating my own food. She's a foodie. I'm a fatty. This is the segment where we talk about food. So tell us, Chick Brew, what's been going on in your food journey?
Oh, today I cleaned the grill and I used the grill and it was great.
I
And then
cleaned
rained,
it
so-
and I used it.
We've been having so much rain. Oh my goodness, it's been wonderful. Except for I was like that panic. We're like, if the rain is supposed to start at this time, and I want to have this for dinner, that gives me like a 25-minute window to cook everything.
You have a gas grill, correct?
Yes.
I don't know why I thought that you had upgraded to an egg. Don't do that.
No, I don't. I don't have time for that.
No one
I need
has
to go out, preheat.
Our friend Ralph loves his egg, but it's just too much work. It's just too much.
If you have the time for it, absolutely. I just don't have the time.
Our grill has pretty much become the just-in-case cooking option because it's just the two of us. So you fire the thing up, you get it going, and then you put what, a steak on? Well, I have an indoor grill. We could have done it there. So we have it, and in the event of an emergency, we could use it. But for the most part, it's only it's the entire extent of our prepping.
But I will say, same. Was it last year? Year before last, we had a weird power breaker. Hold on one second. Are you hearing that?
The shuffling, yes.
Yeah.
Are you being robbed? You're fine. Don't worry about it. Continue.
All right.
Whatever. If you're not being robbed, you're fine.
Well, so we had a weird breaker thing, and we couldn't get power back into our kitchen. So I had made a lasagna. I had already made the sauce. I had layered everything. It was for dinner. I put it in the refrigerator to wait. We were going to come home. My parents were in town. Mom and dad were here. And we were going to toss in the oven. We were going to have dinner. Get back. No power to the kitchen. So I had to cook it on the grill.
And you, to date, are the only person I know that's ever cooked lasagna on the grill.
It can be done. In an emergency, it can be done.
Tomorrow, officially, St. Patrick's Day, or Pop's Day, as his kids like to call it, my dad's birthday. It's also corned beef and cabbage day. Tell me, what's your best corned beef and cabbage recipe, or corned beef recipe, or cabbage recipe? Tell me something that relates to what I just said.
Oh. I know you like a good cabbage soup. I like fried cabbage, but it's not necessarily healthy because it's a lot of butter.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with butter.
But you can also fry it in olive oil, which does nothing to make it healthier.
It doesn't make it any healthier. It doesn't.
But I used olive oil. How are all of my veins clotted?
It's a healthy fat.
Yeah, right.
I'll say, but I like corned beef. I don't make it, but it's good.
Could you, with all of your expertise, take a piece of beef and make it corned? And if so, how would you do that?
So I looked it up actually not that long ago, and I think I still have the recipe pretty close to the top of my search list because I was mostly wondering what is corned beef and how does it come to exist? So yeah, you can make it, but I don't know if I could make it because I don't know if I have enough low and slow cook time available in my weird oven.
The prices, of course, in America specifically, have gone through the roof. And I looked at some corned beef the other day, and I think it was $9.50 a pound. And as much as I may love corned beef, I don't pay $9.50 a pound for anything. I mean, I'm sure I do, but on principle, the principality is...
Don't let it be so obvious, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So boss lady says she's going to pick up some corned beef for us. And I'm like, no, don't do that. That's way too much money. Don't do that. And she says, as elocucious as possible, I got a discount, $2.50 a pound. Oh, well then buy plenty of that. Buy more of that. That's a great price. $2.50 a pound for corned beef.
Now, from what I researched in my what the heck is corned beef anyways moment, was it does take a long time to make. So it's one of those things where maybe it makes sense that it costs a lot because it does take more time than just butchering.
Right, but again, on an individual scale, it takes a long time to make it.
You've already made it, though.
But on an industrial scale, you know, they can make a bunch of it relatively quickly. It's like a yogurt in the Instapot. You can make yogurt in the Instapot, but it's just easier to just go and buy it. It's just so much easier. It's somebody who's better at making yogurt than you makes it in giant vats and sells it at a reasonable price. Just go buy it. And the same thing with corned beef. Just go buy it. Unless it's $9.50 a pound, and then don't buy it. That's how prices come back down. Supply and demand stop demanding. One of my favorite. So, of course, when corned beef is running rampant, other food options start becoming available. And she brought home an amazing Reuben sandwich recently that had all of the things except one thing. And what do you think was the one thing that wasn't on this Reuben sandwich?
Pickle.
No, sauerkraut.
Well, then it wasn't a Reuben.
I was going to say, is it even a Reuben at that point? It's more like a berry. It's a berry sandwich. So
might as well be a banana.
Yeah.
It's just a s'more. It's not even.
Just like who makes a Reuben without? Now, let me tell you about Reubens. I picked up a recipe a couple of years ago. I've done it one time. It was unbelievably delicious. I haven't done it since. It was King Hawaiian rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Sliced in half. You put the corned beef on all of them. You put the sauerkraut on all of them. You put the cheese on all of them. You put the Thousand Island dressing on all of them. You put the top back on top of the rolls, and you throw it in the oven. Ooh-wee. You got sliders of Reubens on King Hawaiian bread, and they were... the food outside's delightful. And they were.
What I heard was, I have 12 Reuben sliders and everyone else is hungry. That's what I heard.
That is one of my favorite corned beef recipes. I want to make it again. I really do. They were so good, but it's not good for you. All the salting and the brining.
Bread kick lately.
You're on a bread kick?
You want corned beef, I want cornbread.
Last time we talked about your cornbread, you put the jalapenos in it.
Always put jalapenos in it because it's delicious. But this time I did have milk. I did not have to use yogurt. So it came out more of a standard cornbread fluffiness. So it's funny you say fluffiness because I like my cornbread like I like my women. Blonde and dense. Then use the yogurt because the yogurt came out much denser than... It didn't rise as much. Like this was the same amount of cornbread, but it rose more. But the yogurt, it was much denser, almost like...
There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's okay to
almost like a baked custard. Instead of Like a hot water cornbread.
Yes, that is the consistency I like in my cornbread. Now, can I eat the light and fluffy? Sure, I can eat it. But if I had a choice between light and fluffy and blonde and dense, give me blonde and dense every time. I like that's a good one. All right, and that has been our segment where we talk about food. We talked about food. Yay us. Our question of the week was something to do with injuries. Wish I would have remembered what the question of the week was. Give me 2 seconds and I'll bring that up. Oh, I guess somebody sending me a message over here. Oh, you sent me something. What'd you send me?
I sent you the video of Barbara Kent.
Oh.
So you could share it on the page.
Okay. And I will find one of the random goat pics. Our question of the week this week was, what's the dumbest way you've ever injured yourself? Now, I know you don't follow along on the Facebooks and on the group page or any of that. So the first person that gets to answer the question today is you. What?
I fell into a wall. That's the stupidest thing I've ever done. I still don't even know how I got this hurt from something so stupid.
I did not. To be clear, I love you. I did not come up with that question based on your most recent incident.
My most recent, I don't get hurt that often.
Yeah, all right. But, we had some listeners pop in and everybody's got their own story. I'll read their stories and then I'll share you mine. Corey, she hurt herself once by breathing. She said she took a deep breath while walking and pulled something in her back. Our friend Brian,
like 2 weeks away from that.
Our friend Brian was looking at his shadow while riding a bicycle and smashed into a truck. Our friend James, he was pushing a thumbtack in and the little plastic thing around the thumbtack gave way. So he thumbtacked his thumb.
Oh, gosh.
Jessica misgauged where the car began and where her head was. She smacked herself in the head trying to get into a car. Our friend Donald, who is a former military working dog handler, only said dogs and dogs because all of his injuries came to him from dogs. Our friend Rob pulled a muscle in his ribs while twisting to wipe his buttocks. That is
look, man, the toilet is a dangerous place.
That is a thing that happens with older people. You sometimes you twist and shout, "Shake it up, baby!" Now.
I was reading about a guy who went to the bathroom and he was sitting for a while and he was scrolling like you do.
You see me scrolling.
His legs fell asleep.
Uh-huh.
And he stood up.
Uh-huh.
And one leg was like, okay, fine, enough. And he went to shake the other one out.
And down he goes.
No, he smashed it, not realizing how bad he had hit it on the edge of something, broke his foot, and then was like, oh, I can't stand up. It's like, I broke my foot. Pins and needles.
There have been people...
1 second you're pooping, the next you're limping.
There have been people who have melded with their toilet. Extremely large people that had spent a really long amount of time on the... And then they started to grow into the toilet. That's I don't know what kind of clue you need to let you know you need to lose weight, but if you're growing into things, you probably need to get...
I would just get too bored. I would be like, I've been sitting here too long.
You don't know. You could be looking at some goats and some kittens. The goats and the kittens, I'm telling you, that's a good one. Because the kittens are so adorable and so ferocious.
Maybe if it was Beagle videos, I'd probably be
don't.
Probably go to my toilet watching dogs.
All right, we're gonna talk about Beagle here in just a second. Let me go ahead and finish up with our question of the week.
Glorious four-legged.
I'm so sad, Christina. I'm so sad, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Dwight finishes up the comments there with there's a one time that he sneezed so hard that he sprained his neck. He couldn't look left for a week. My personal experience in the weirdest way that I ever found myself injured, I know what caused this. I know everything that led up to this incident, but it was a long night of outdoor operations. It was a long night of stuff. And the next morning, I wake up in my apartment in Jacksonville. I am exhausted, but I wake up. When I took my clothes off, I just threw them everywhere. I lived alone. No one cares. It's morning time. I need to pick up my clothes. And I bent to pick up my underwear and collapsed on top of my underwear. I had done something really bad to my back the night before, but adrenaline had gotten me through it. And it was just the bending over to pick up my underwear. And again, did I mention I'm living alone and my cell phone is nowhere near me? I am the epitome of I've fallen and I can't get up. And I have temporary paralysis from some disc ruptures in my lower spine that all culminated with my big boy drawers.
I got an anthrax vaccine in Bahrain and had a bit of into it. It was administered not correctly. So I had one in one arm, and then not too many days after, I was instructed to get another one in the other arm. And if you know anything about these vaccines, they suck. They hurt so bad. But I had this reaction to them that made my hands go numb. My roommate is in Egypt on leave, and I'm in my room trying to do some push-ups, fall down, try to go open the door, but can't open the door because the reason I fell down is because of my arms.
This is a much better story than you face planting into a wall.
But I didn't really get hurt. I just, but at the time, my roommate she was gone. And I was like, I can't get out of my room. I'm going to be stuck here forever. This is how I die.
I tell you why I hate social media. I use it all the time. Obviously, we use it a lot. But there's a point in life when social media just becomes kind of like a death notification service. And when you lose a friend, it traditionally happens the same way regardless of who it is. Someone somewhere in the world will say someone died. And then the natural reaction is to confirm that someone died. And then, of course, find out how someone died. Is there anything you could do or you could have done? These are natural. This is a natural progression. But I got to tell you, I lost my friend Ryan Shores this weekend. And it saddens me. So as predicted, as I just stated, someone sends a message out, says, we lost this person. And then I try to confirm that we lost this person, and I reach out to him and I get nothing back from him. And I can't really confirm it, but other people are also telling me that he's died. And of course, I'm saddened at the loss of a friend, but he has a beagle. And
Are you going to take the beagle?
I am not taking his beagle, but he absolutely loves this beagle. And the thing that has bothered me most about losing my friend isn't how did it happen? Because I kind of got an idea. And it makes me sad. When it comes to me, that's my new goal in life. When you hear that I died, I want there to be a question. I want people to go, how? What happened? I want a question. I don't want everybody to go just like, we figured.
Got it.
So I think I know how he died, and I'm sad that he's gone. I really am. But I am super sad and anxious about Rosemary, his beagle. Like, where is she? Who has her? Who's taking care of her? He really loved that dog, and that dog provided him a lot of comfort when he was down and out. And I liked looking at pictures of the dog. He loved his dog. There's nothing wrong in that. And that's been.
Go get that dog.
I'm not going all the way to California.
Would love to have a friend.
We are not getting a beagle. I don't care whose dog it is.
Beagles are the most perfect dog on the planet.
No, Ridgebacks are perfect dogs. Let me tell you also, they're the smartest.
Ridgebacks are perfect Ridgebacks.
They're the smartest.
Beagles are perfect beagles. Two different varieties.
And I took him for a spa day on Saturday, and he gets all the spa treatment. He gets that, and he gets all the he gets that, and he gets the he gets all of the treatments, and he hates it. He hates going to any place that does his nails or washes him or
takes away his dog smell.
Gives him a little checkup there. This Saturday, I took a different route to throw him off because he's so smart. He's so smart. So we go to the base. He understands when we went to the base. Now, when we leave the base, I took a surreptitious route around so that he wouldn't know where we were going. Chick Brew, as soon as we got to the traffic light, where I have to
Ew.
make a left to drive very far down. It's into a shopping center. I'm at a he knew at the moment I hit that traffic light where we were and started crying and whining. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. But the point where he recognized he was going to get his nails done, it just blew my mind that he is so smart that he's able to recognize the landmarks near the thing he hates the most.
Our dog's going to the dog park. If you go towards the base to go to the dog park, thrilled. If you go the other way, because that's the way the vet. If we're on foot and we go to the left, we're going to the pet store, which means they're going to get a snacky. If you go to the right, we're going to the vet. And then they'll be like, I'd like to go to the left.
I would trick him. I would trick him when we were living in Spain. We had the what did people call it recently? The duck park. Where's the duck park? They ask. It's where all the ducks are. It's the biggest park in Rota. You can't miss it. It's in the middle of the damn city. It's where all the ducks are. It's called the duck park, or officially the lake, the park of the lake, the Parque de Laguna. Well, his veterinarian was just a couple of blocks away from Parque de Laguna. So we would go to Parque de Laguna and we would have a blast, and then we'd extend our jaunt just a little bit and stop by and say hi to, strangely enough, another Christina. I have too many Christinas in my life. We would stop by and we would see Christina and she'd give him a treat and we'd say hello. And that's how I convinced him that that wasn't a bad place. He reacts like he's got PTSD when we go to the vet here. He doesn't. Plus, they recently shaved his belly and he did not like that. And then when they shave, when I went in for my surgery, they shaved me shorn. I lost it all, and you don't realize that there are hairs on your body that are supposed to be there, and when they're gone, everything is more awkward. And like putting on deodorant for the last 3 months has been very strange because I never shaved my armpits before.
You like a woman. Woo!
I don't know what took me down that path.
You went to the vet. You went to the grown-up version of the vet. And you got your tummy shaved.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So they shorned me, but they got everything. They took all of my hair, which is fun, kind of watching it grow back. It's just, but for him, they didn't taper anything. They just boxed him out. They just went all over his tummy and boxed him out, and it doesn't look cool, and it's not growing back cool, and I don't like it when my dog doesn't look cool. I want him looking cool. All right,
This is
so
a cool-looking dog.
we've covered all of the things. Oh, we haven't covered a couple of things. Let's go to something that we would normally do. You got any headlines for me?
Yup.
And now it is time for headlines from around the globe.
I shan't delay you further. Give me the headline you have.
Influencer discovers website is selling life-size cardboard cutouts of her.
And public domain. I don't know what the problem here is. I have often thought about sending you a life-size cutout of me just so that me and Mike can hang out on the back wall there. We have experience with life-size cutouts. They're cool to have around. In the studio there in Rhoda, I think there's still a Darth Vader. There's still a Han Solo.
They are still there.
Yeah.
Saw them last week.
So,
I think it would be weird.
she's upset because she's not getting money out of it. And it's her.
I would be weirded out if I who's buying that? You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm looking at her. I don't know who she is. Not that I know all the influencers. I'm old. I'm out of touch. But I'm like,
Is she cornbread?
What? And
Is she blonde and dense?
no.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I don't know. And as the pictures that they chose to make the cutouts of, not really that great.
I don't know if
And they're $89, $100.
Well, that's what it costs to make a full-size picture of somebody. That's not overpriced. That's about the right price.
We're in the wrong business, is what I'm saying, T-Bone. Come on. I'll take some pictures of people. They won't even know that I took them, and we can make this magic happen.
I don't know if I told you recently, there was a contract that was presented to me for my name, image, and likeness. Yeah. there was some stuff going on, and they said I needed to sign the waiver, and the waiver was a contract. And unlike most people, I read my contracts when they're presented to me. And I was selling my name, image, and likeness to this company in perpetuity for the grand total of, you want to take a guess how much they were going to pay me?
$12.99.
$1. Yes, anything that I did with this company was theirs. They owned it for the sum of $1. At which point I said, no, thank you. I appreciate everything that you do, and anything I do with you, I'll do for free, but I'm not signing that. I will never sign that. And she understood, and she thanked me for my time, but she keeps sending me the contract. Not gonna sign it. The thing is, does she have a case? If she were to sue the people that are making these life-size cardboard cutouts of her, would she have a case? Could she prove it was her? Or is it just someone that may look like her? It could be AI generated.
Proof would be,
if they're selling it like, here's a chick brew cutout. Chick brew. Yeah, maybe then she would have a case.
I just think it'd be super weird. Like, what a weird thing to find of yourself.
I think we should both make a full-size image of us and put it on the page. And if anybody wants to make a cutout of us, they can use our full-size image. Or we just give them a headshot and they can put that on whatever body they want. Like your the dragon thing. The dragon thing. Your House of Dragons hair. Remember when you had House of Dragons hair? Oh. Yes. Yeah, we put that up and allow people to make their own. What if they took your face? Heck, I might do this. Take that House of Dragons look that you were sporting and put it on one of the House of Dragons people and then make that into a full-size cutout. And then she stands behind me while I tape the show.
Just make sure I had judgy eyes in that photo.
Well, they would be your eyes.
I know. Make sure I'm appropriately judgmental in that picture.
Hey, do you have another headline for me?
I do. Michigan judge wanted Walmart shoplifters to wash cars.
Good job, Mr. Judge person. On making the shoplifters do something. Now, out of all the things you could have made the shoplifters do, I can't necessarily agree that washing cars is the appropriate level of punishment for theft. Because if it were, I would wonder what those young Marines are doing once a week outside of the security building there in Rhoda when they're out there in their tighty whities and their greeny meanies and washing cars.
Unfortunately, they are not allowed to wear those little ones anymore because someone complained. Rude. And because we've been in such a severe drought, there have been no car washes.
They made the Marines stop wearing their PT uniform. That is delightful. That
I can't wear the silkies anymore.
So offended by their actual physical training uniform that they can't wear them outside. That is precious. No, judge in Michigan, isn't it more appropriate to have criminals that aren't necessarily dangerous doing like roadside cleanup, picking up garbage? Isn't there a better community service thing to do other than a car wash? And who are they washing cars for? The city?
No. We wanted them to go out to the community and provide free car washes to...
In Korea, for a small amount of money, you could pay a guy to wash your car while you were at work. He had a 5-gallon bucket with a squeegee and a rag in it, and he would go from car to car, and he would clean your car with that same dirty water he had used on every other car. But for $5 a month, you could bet old Han was out there washing your car with dirt water.
Dirt water.
Yeah, okay. Let me think about this judge a little longer. And now we're going to do it as a random act of kindness towards other people who didn't shop. Again, I think it's bad punishment. I don't think that's good punishment.
Well, also, I mean, as much as I don't care about Walmart, because I don't care about Walmart.
We're not talking about Walmart. We're talking about the crime of shoplifting.
Right. Well, the thieves were from Walmart. The crime happened against Walmart, and Walmart gets none of the satisfaction of the repayment.
So did you know that now a lot of companies will not prosecute you for shoplifting?
Yes.
Contingent on you signing a document that says you can no longer come to the store, that you got caught, you can't come to the store, and the 50-cent thing that you stole is going to cost you $450 to restock. And if you pay the $450 and promise never to come here again, we won't involve the police. On the outside, that makes total sense. But on the inside, when people are robbing from the Navy Exchange or the commissary, not calling the police means those military members who obviously have a discipline issue are not being addressed appropriately. And that has made me angry for years. We're just, we're accepting bribes under the guise of restocking fees.
Yes.
Yes. Boo!
There's nothing inside the necks that is worth stealing.
Yeah, don't steal. That's not good, okay?
Okay.
I did the Mr. Garrison thing recently. Remember, children, there's no such thing as stupid people. I mean, remember, children, there's no such thing as stupid questions, just stupid people. And somebody who never had seen that episode of South Park or any South Park was quoting me later. Tony said, no. Tony, Mr. Garrison said Tony was just repeating. Hey, wow, big changes in celebrity podcasts this week.
What's up with that?
Yeah, so a new bottom 5, brand new bottom 5. None of these names have we said before when we talked about the worst celebrity podcasts. So 5 worst celebrity podcasts for this week start with this dude named Armie Hammer.
Oh, yeah. Heard he eats people.
His podcast, really bad. Followed by Christy Cavallari.
I don't know who that is.
Kristen Cavallari.
Still don't know who that is.
Is that the Cavallari dude, Henry Cavallari's wife, maybe? Don't know. But they call her a celebrity, and she's number 2 on the worst celebrity podcast. Right there, dead center, Katy Perry.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that she's kind of like lost touch.
Yep, she's just BSC, and no one wants to listen to her. Perry's podcast has faced backlash for revealing personal anecdotes that some consider too explicit, leading to discussions about the boundaries celebrities should maintain in public forums.
Oh, actually sounds way more interesting than I thought. It's going to.
Khloe Kardashian makes the list because no one wants to listen to Khloe.
I don't want to listen to any of them.
I don't want to listen to her. I don't want to watch her. I'm done. And surprisingly, Andrew Tate's podcast tops the list as the most complaints received. Now, they just came back to America from Romania, and I thought he was pretty popular. I don't really know. I don't really listen to him. But yeah, Andrew Tate, Khloe Kardashian, Katy Perry, Kristen Cavallari, and Armie Hammer. Those are the worst celebrity podcasts of the week. We're going to get ready to wrap this up, but I won't wrap this up without sharing something from the Book of Everything.
Everything is everything. What is meant to be will be.
Every week we delve into the Book of Everything at random. We pull out a fact of something you may or may not have known that existed in this world. And
In a world.
I really do like to pick these at random, but I get stuck because there's so many checked off these days. I don't like that page.
It's raining so hard.
Oh,
right now.
really? I got to drive in the rain soon.
Oh, how was your free dinner? Your dinner date?
Hey, anytime I can go to a dinner with my date, I love it. All right, here we go. Tibet. Here is your fact of the week, something from the Book of Everything. Tibet has a smaller gross domestic product than Malta. Now, you wouldn't think that's strange, but Tibet is 4,000 times larger than Malta.
What is their product?
Sherpas? I don't know what they sell in Tibet.
What?
Yeah. Here's a mountain guide. You could take one home for $50. Lots of callbacks in today's
Not
episode.
an Alabama baby, okay?
That's everything. That is a great episode. Yeah. I think we're good there. Ladies and gentlemen, I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you were a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow.
And don't forget that you are loved.
Thank you for listening to T-Bone and Chick Brew. If you enjoyed that show, you should check out the Jerome McClain Show, independent media that won't reinforce tribalism. We have one planet and nobody's leaving, so let's reason together. You can find the Jerome McClain Show at the same place you actually listen to this show. Give it a shot.
That was a solid show.
Thank you.